Record to the cloud.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 7th week of our Mac class. Today is Tuesday, April 12th, and tonight we continue our journey into Safari with part 2. And sorry about that. Okay, so we continue our journey into Safari with part 2, which Herbie will be teaching. Just a reminder, be sure to check the iBug Today website and social media for our latest announcements, programs, and more. We have the movie night this Friday at 7:30 with the pre-movie social, and at 8 is the movie. We will be watching Annie Hall, and then the discussion afterwards. So, without further ado, as I said, Herbie is going to present Safari, and I am having him teach this one. I can teach you the methodical, okay, here's all the navigation methods, here's what you do, whatever. But Herbie is daily and more than daily uses Safari on his Mac and knows some tips and tricks of the trade, so to speak. So he will show you what has worked well for him, and you'll be good to go. So take it away, Herbie.
Window audio is currently
All
unmuted.
right, thank you guys. All right, thank you, Chanel. So let's get things started. So one of the questions we got last week was how to navigate the Amazon website. We're going to get to that a little bit later on in the lesson, but there is something important that you need to do if it's not already set. And if you're having trouble with Amazon, my guess is it is not your default setting. But we're going to refer back to something that was covered in our voiceover utility lesson, and that is the navigation. So what you want to do is, under your voiceover utility, go to navigation and go via right to the voiceover cursor, and you want to make sure it's set to ignore. And I'm going to briefly show you that. So I just do my
Opening voiceover utility.
voiceover utility.
Voiceover utility.
I'm going to hit M
Navigation.
for navigation. I'm going to via right.
Finish keyboard grouping. Stand. Synchronize. Mouse point. Ignores voiceover cursor.
Mouse pointer.
Mouse pointer. Pop up.
And then you want it set to ignores voiceover cursor, so that you just down arrow on the pop up till you get to there, you hit enter and Command W to get out of there. This really makes Amazon browsing a lot easier because it keeps that review button from popping up and giving you a heck
Zoom
of a
us.
time. Actually, it's Command Q to get out of there. And most of the time, I don't have any problems with any other sites, but if something is not displaying correctly, one thing I will try is a VO Command F5, and that routes the mouse to the voiceover cursor, and sometimes that will get things to display that are not. And a classic example of this is on the MLB TV website. When you're listening to audio, sometimes the volume button does not show up within the player. And so I have to focus on the player. I'll do my Command VO F5, and then I can VO right to my audio controls for the volume. And so that is an example of where I might have to use that command. So it's going to be hit or miss, and you will have to play around with that. All right, so let's get on now with our Safari. We're going to start with a site that should be near and dear to our hearts because, well, this is the organization, the iBug Today website. And I've heard people say that they find it difficult to navigate. I'm not quite sure why, except for one or two things that I will admit did kind of not throw me, but I had to see if they made a difference, and they did not. What am I talking about? Well, let's find out. So we learned that we can get to our Safari with a beautiful shortcut. Right option S. And so I'm going to do that.
Safari. Untitled. Window. Toolbar.
Now, the first thing you're going to notice on mine is that it says Untitled Window. This is because I do not have mine set to go to a particular homepage. When I launch Safari, I want to decide for myself where I'm going to go right then and there, because I could have it launch on my station's website. Well, no, most of the time I don't actually need to go there because I've got shortcuts to listen to it or whatever. And Or maybe I might want to go to the MLB website, but when I launch, I actually might prefer to need to go to Amazon for some reason. So I prefer to have it go directly to my address bar. If you've set a home page, then you're going to have a page displaying instead, and you're going to have to do an extra step from here, which is Command L. Command L is what will bring up your address bar. And now we can start typing. And I'm going to put in the iBug website. So let's hit the letter I.
iBug Today.
Hey, what do you know? It automatically brought it up with iBug Today. Sometimes it displays the actual title of the website. Sometimes it displays the address. This is an awesome shortcut feature that you guys should not overlook in your Safari navigation or any web browser. And a lot of these things I'm going to talk about tonight, you will find that no matter what system you are on, you can apply a lot of these methods for quick navigation. Even though, yes, I know it displays differently on Windows, but these are going to help. So, what we're going to do is, like I said, notice it said iBug Today, so it remembers the site that I visit a lot. And this comes in really handy because now instead of having to fiddle with bookmarks and stuff, you go to the site you want, it remembers it, and now you can find it just by typing in 1 or 2 or 3 of the letters, depending. If you have sites with multiple letters, for instance, if I type in M, it's going to bring m.facebook.com, but if I type in MA, that's going to bring up MaxWeb, which is my MetroLift. So, it makes it so that I just have to type in 1 or 2 letters. And if it's bringing up the wrong site, well, then I just keep on typing till I put in the full address. Or I can also search for something with this address bar too, just by typing in the search term. And you can kind of verify that the shortcut is working with your left and right arrow keys, but once it brings it up, all we need to do is hit enter.
iBugToday. www.ibugtoday.com. Website not secure.
Okay, so
Home.
unfortunately, this voice has a propensity to double itself on some things, but that's okay. So we have 2 choices here. We can start to use our quick key navigations with the website or not. But if we do not, what we're going to have to do is interact. And we're going to do that first because I want to explore this site a little bit and show you just some key navigational components here. And we're going to interact. You should all know this, of course, VO shift down.
In iBug Today.
And I'm going to sometimes cut off my speech with the control key just so it doesn't blabber too much. I am now in the iBug Today website. So let's say I've never been here before. What am I looking for? Well, I've got several different ways of looking, but I'm going to start just with my down arrow key. I have my quick nav off, or we'll talk about quick nav on a little bit later, but for this particular website, my quick nav is going to be off. And there are some reasons for that. And so let's do down arrow.
Skip. Enable accessibility for visually impaired button. Visually impaired. Open the accessibility menu button. Menu. Open the accessible navigation menu button. Navigation menu. Accessibility menu button. New line. Heading level 1. iBug Today. Semicolon. Home. Link. Image. Text image. Link. Home. About us. Upcoming. Training. Podcasts. Android Insight. Mac and Talk. Resources. Donate. Contact. New line. Search iBug Today webs. Search text field. Search text field.
And now we're in a search field that I can't get out of with my arrow key. I can't go forward or back. I'm stuck here. That's okay.
Quick accessibility.
We're going to do our control home to go back to the top of the page. So I hope you noticed some things here. Notice that it was a little bit tedious navigating this way because it was reading every single line. The other thing that I hope you noticed is that it read some things that it did not tell us what they actually were. That could have been links, or were they just words? So, how do we get around this? Well, the next way to explore, if you don't know what you're looking for, is with VO left and VO right. Now, there are, like I said, some reasons why I don't use QuickNav, and the chief one being that using it with without it on, it gives me full flexibility of the website. I can do whatever I need to do. I can deal with search button fields or anything like that without having to remember, oh, is my quick nav on or off? And I can choose to read line by line if I need to, or the way that we're about to, depending on where I'm at in a particular website. So I'm going to now do VO right arrow. That's VO right arrow to explore a website that I am not familiar with.
Skip to main content button.
So let's go back first of all.
Quick accessibility menu. Web application.
So we got a quick accessibility menu.
Skip to main content. Enable accessibility for visually impaired button.
So this is a site that in activating the button does not make a difference, at least from a voiceover perspective. I have tried it and I've not noticed any difference. If you decide to press VO space on the button and see if you notice a difference, let me know. I will mention that on future shows, but it may display things different visually if you enable the screen reader mode. Now, there are some websites where you might find it more helpful. And a lot of times what you're going to get is a little blank sound and voiceover saying, press blah 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 to enable screen reader mode. But this site, it does not do that. Let's keep going.
Open the accessibility menu button. Open the accessible navigation menu button. End of. Quick accessibility menu button. Heading level 1. iBug Today. Home. Visited. Link. Image. Text. Visited. Link. Home. Link. About us. Link. Upcoming. Visited. Link. Training. Visited. Link. Podcasts.
So remember all those things that we just read a minute ago with our down arrow key? Well, now with the VO right, it's actually telling me properly that it is a link that I can click on. So that is a key difference right there, is you get more information on the site with the two different methods. Now I'm going to show you somewhere else where you might want to use the up and down arrow as opposed to the VO left or VO right, but it's going to be your personal preference. And we're going to now navigate by heading. And to do this, we're going to use our quick navigation methods, but since we're not using the quick nav, we're going to add in our VO modifier, which is VO command. And so I want you to remember this: H for heading, L for link, V for visited link, and we'll get to a couple more. Another thing that I want to point out is all these screen readers have a lot of these basic shortcuts. I think they all use H for heading, but with JAWS at least, I do think L moves you through lists, not links. But they all use something similar. So let's do my heading navigation with VO command H.
Heading level 2. Welcome to iBug Today.
All right, that's nice.
Heading level 2. Empowering the blind through accessibility technology training.
Wait a minute, did I miss something? Oh dear, I want to go back. Well, that is very simple to do. All I need to do is add in my shift key. And here is something again that is extremely important, because this also works on Windows as well as Mac for your modifier keys, including the tab key. I don't know how many times I see people tab around in something just using tab, when if they actually did shift tab, they would find themselves going backwards and getting to what they're looking for a little bit quicker. So remember the shift key for going backwards. This is something that translates on both systems. So, and if I want you to remember, and if you're wondering, well, Herb, is this going to become a focus question? What do you think? So I'm going to do my VO command shift H.
Heading level 2. Welcome to iBug Track. Heading level 2.
I hit an up arrow key by mistake. That's okay. I'm going to go down.
Heading level 2. Empowering the blind through accessibility technology.
Oh, what do you know? I guess I didn't miss a heading after all. It's just two headings right next to each other.
Training.
Ooh, there's a training on the next line. I did not realize that. Let's keep going. I'm just using down arrow.
iBug Today. Incorporated is a nonprofit organization promoting the individual independence, social integration, and educational development of the blind community through accessible technology training. iBug, iBlind users group endeavors to transform the blind community through accessible technology training so they can live extraordinary lives full of independence, productivity, communication, and social integration in a world where everything is within the realm of possibility.
All right, that's nice. Okay, so what I was doing here was reading line by line. Why would I want to do this? Well, I will do this more so on sites like where there's recipes, for instance. And I want to, I don't want to process the whole thing entirely all at once. I want to be able to, see what I need for each ingredient and make sure I got the right measurement and all that kind of stuff, because you will miss stuff if you're reading in larger chunks of text, but we can still read that way. So I'm going to VO left.
Heading level 2. Empowering the blind through accessibility technology training.
So now it read with VO left, it read the entire heading instead of splitting it up into 2 lines, and I'm going to VO right.
iBug Today, Incorporated is a nonprofit organization promoting the individual independence, social integration, and educational development of the blind community through accessible technology training. iBug, iBlind Users Group endeavors to transform the blind community through accessible technology training so they can live extraordinary lives full of independence, productivity, communication, and social integration in a world where everything is within the realm of possibility.
So all that now just got read in one blurb. So depending on your comfortable, what you're comfortable with will depend on which method you want to adopt when reading text. And so that's why I thought I'd mention that. All right.
Quick access.
Now, what happens if I do my VO Command L for links?
Text.
I
Visited.
did a
Link.
VO home to go to the top of the page, and I'm just going to navigate.
Home. About us. Upcoming. Training. Visited. Podcasts. Android Insight. Mac and Talk.
There you go. We
Visited.
got
Link.
various links that I can go to. Oh, and hey, I heard that I've got visited links. So if I go back up,
Quick accessibility.
I guess I could have done VO Command Shift V, but I'm just going to do VO Command V for now.
Text. Visited. Link. Image. Home. Visited. Link. Training. Visited. Link.
And now I can just browse through my visited links. Makes things a lot quicker if I want to try to find something that I'm looking for. And another thing that was interesting with that up and down arrow, by the way, is that notice the logo, the text logo as a link, but nothing else. So, all right, that's fine and dandy, but what if I really don't want to be fiddling around with this? I know precisely what I am looking for. I want to get there.
Quick accessibility.
I'm going to do a VO home to get back to the top of the page. And this is where I would utilize my web rotor. Now, before I do that, there is actually one other thing I do need to show you real quick, and that is how to navigate by button. And we talked about enabling the Option Tab method in the advanced settings of the Safari settings in last week's lesson. So what happens if I do an Option Tab?
Search text field. Blank.
So it's more
Right
than
arrow,
buttons. It will take you through to form fields as well.
Play. Share. Share. Right arrow. Search accessibility. Open the accessibility menu. Enable accessibility for visually impaired. Skip to main content. Tab overview button.
Oh dear, tab overview. What's that?
Skip to main.
So one of the things you do need to know about the Option Tab method is it's not limited to just the Safari buttons. It is actually going to, within a web page, it's going to show you the entire buttons within the Safari app, not just the web page. But when you use your rotor, it's only going to show you the buttons within a web page. So I could find my tab overview button, my close button, things like that if with doing the Option Tab method if I go back too far. Or if I go forward too far, I might come across extra stuff. And so that is the key difference. Again, Option Tab shows you all the Safari app buttons or any other buttons within an app, but the rotor just shows you the web page buttons. So now let's talk about the web rotor, because I want to quickly find the podcasts link for this site, and I don't want to sit there and do VOL or turn my QuickNav on and all that jazz. I want to quickly get to it. So I'm going to now utilize the web rotor. We actually have two rotors on here. We have our VO command left and right arrow, and that is great because we can use our rotor settings with QuickNav off and then do VO command up and down to look at how something is spelled. This is especially useful for links where you can't use your left and right arrow to go character by character, but you want to see how something is spelled. And it's also useful, by the way, on the fields like Zoom usernames. If you want to see how somebody spells their name in Zoom, that is a great way to do it. You can also do VOWW but this other way will also work if you want to read character, just each individual character, or if you want to read it by word. But then we have our web rotor. And by the way, we do have our links, visited links, headings, and all that. All the rotors are going to follow the order that you have set in your rotor settings that Chanel demonstrated last week. So make note of that. All your rotor settings, it's going to apply no matter which method you use, including the one with the quick nav on. So let's go to our web rotor.
Headings menu.
And it's on the headings menu. That's nice. I can use my up and down arrow keys to go to a heading if I want.
Heading level 2. Heading level 2. Heading
nice.
47 items.
And can I...
No items in. Headings menu. No items in. No items closing. Skip to main.
Oops, so I was seeing if I could emulate something with quick nav off that you can do with quick nav on, but that's okay. I was seeing if you can do H2 and it'll take you to heading level 2, but that does not work in the web rotor. So I'm now going to find my links.
Form controls menu.
And that's not the video.
Headings links menu.
Oh, there we go. I've got my links menu. So I'm looking for the podcast link and I'm going to hit the letter P.
Visited link podcast.
Hey, what do you know? It took me right there. Now, there are 3 different ways you can activate a link. With your quick nav off, you can do VO space or enter. And with your quick nav on, you can use the combination of up and down arrows. But there's something else you do need to know with the web rotor. What this does is it's not like your elements list in NVDA or links list in JAWS. Because the rotor, it incorporates a lot more than just links. And B, what it does is it puts focus on the element that you're pointed to. So it doesn't activate it, it just puts the focus on it. So then you can activate it. I think they do it this way because of the fact that, you know, there's a lot more besides links, and maybe you could accidentally find the wrong button, so it's a good opportunity to verify you're at the right spot. So this means we have to do VO space or enter twice because of how it focuses. So I'm going to do VO space.
Visited.
I find that is a little bit more reliable with focus, but you can do enter. Nothing wrong with that. And there, I just did my first one. So now I'm focused on the podcast link, and I'm now going to VO space again.
Website not visited. Link. Image.
The other thing I found sometimes with enters, I don't get that little rot noise, whereas VO space I do. And that's useful to know that a page has loaded. Alrighty, so I want to get right to the podcasts. I'm not going to fiddle with looking at all the other links on this particular page. So let's see if I can find one that I want. And to do this, I'm going to use my heading navigation because I'm going to assume that the podcasts are going to be on a separate heading from all the other links.
Visited. Link. Image. iBugtoday. Heading level 1. iBugtoday. Pod. Heading level 2. Link. iBug Buzz number 528, April 4th, 2022, 120 minutes.
Okay, there you go. So notice the heading is also a link, so you can like it, but it's still quicker to get here by using your heading navigation, because otherwise you're going to go through all the other links at the top of the page. If I want more information, I can
Facilitators,
down arrow.
Maria and Santaya. Topics, joining meeting on Clubhouse, creating and editing a contact containing a Zoom link, deleting
and you get the idea. All right, that's nice. Well, what if I actually want to activate this particular podcast? Well, I've got several options here. Let's go back up.
iBug Buzz number 5.
So, interestingly, my up and down arrow does recognize this as a link. So I'm going to VO space on the file, and let's see what happens.
Website not secure. Audio control.
So notice it's also saying
good evening, everyone.
Oh, good evening.
And welcome to the iBug Buzz. This is iBug Buzz episode number 528 for Monday, April 4th of 2022. Good evening, everyone. And
all right. Thank you, Maria. That is totally awesome. But I will listen to you take us through the iBug announcements later. So here's what I've got now.
Skip back 15 seconds.
So I've got a skip back 15 seconds button.
Play.
A play.
Button. Skip forward 15 seconds. Button. Elapsed. 6 seconds.
I can see that 6 seconds has elapsed.
6 seconds. Slider.
I've got a slider here
6
that
seconds. 0 seconds.
I can just up and down arrow in.
Elapsed 28 seconds.
It
28 seconds. 1
is
minute.
not
12.
good about giving feedback. I mean, it does move, and you can up and down arrow. And then if we go to our
Skip
play
forward.
button,
Pause.
If possible, we ask
Skip elapsed.
that
1 minute.
Or we can do it
everyone
this way.
state your name. So don't just announce
Elapsed.
yourself.
Skip forward. Pause.
so
Play.
it does work. Some sliders, they don't work, but this one definitely does. So you can kind of move through a little bit of chunks within the
Skip
podcast.
elapsed. What duration? Mute button.
We've got a mute button, so that just mutes the audio, but it keeps it playing.
Airplay button.
And we've got an AirPlay button. So if you've got a HomePod or a TV that supports AirPlay, you can tell it to play from here. Just a quick
In
look at
popover,
that.
content is empty. Bedroom. Bedroom. Herbert's MacBook Pro. Herbert's MacBook Pro.
So
Airplay button.
I can VO space on my MacBook, which it's already set to, or my HomePod. And that's a quick way of enabling AirPlay within this screen.
More button.
And then I've got a more button, which just gives us a speed control. All right, well, that's fine and dandy. But you know what? I really don't know if I want to listen to it this way. I think I want to download it so I can listen to it later on at my leisure. Well, that's not a problem. In fact, there's 2 different ways to do that.
Air duration 1.
So let's
Skip
go
forward
back
15,
to our
play
play button. And now we are going to bring up our context menu. Now, I know you all struggle with this, so if you get nothing else out of tonight's lesson, I want you to please, 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 please remember these menus. I know it's not all related to Safari, but please. So, VOM, that is your menu bar. VOMM is your menu extras. And VO-Shift-M is your context menu. The last one you do when you are focused on a particular element that might have one, such as where we are at right now in the podcasts on the play button. And so we're going to do our VO-Shift-M.
Menu.
And I'm going to down arrow.
Hide controls.
So I can hide the player controls.
Enter full screen.
You can go to full screen. What this does is this completely maximizes your screen. It might show some hidden things. It might not. This can be especially useful like if you're watching a video.
Enter picture in picture.
And
Dimmed.
you need to see it better. Enter picture in picture. Since there's no actual video, we don't have to worry about that.
Open video in new tab.
Open video in new tab. So it's labels everything as video, but it's a file. So if I hit enter on this, I could actually have my podcast playing in a separate tab. And then I could come back to this tab and do whatever it is I need to do. I could have them both playing at the same time if I wanted. Or I could go to somewhere else and whatever. But what it does is it brings it up in a separate tab.
Open video in new window.
Same with new window. So it's just a matter of which one you prefer.
Download video.
Download video.
Download video as ellipsis.
Download video as.
Copy video address.
Copy video address.
Share. Submenu. Hide controls.
Okay,
Share.
so let's talk about copy and share. If we look at our share menu.
Share. Mail. Add to reading list. Mail. Messages. AirDrop. Notes. Reminders. Simulator.
So if you've ever looked at the share sheet on iOS, you recognize the same concept.
Menu. Share.
However, on the Mac, it is 9 times out of 10 a lot easier just to copy the address from wherever you're at. Either in this case, we can just do our copy to clipboard, or we could do a Command L and do a select all with VOA and Command C, and then go to the email, text message, or wherever document and paste the link in there. And that's a lot easier than having to fiddle with the share sheet, but you can use that method here if you wanted.
Copy video address.
All right. Another thing
download.
that is exactly the same on Windows as it is on Mac, and that is in Windows, the only difference is the term is save instead of download. But we've got a save and a save as. And
it's 1930.
As with Windows, your download is going to go to your default downloads folder, whereas download as is going to allow you to customize where the file goes to. So
open video.
I'm just
download
going to go ahead and download video here.
Download video. In dialog, sidebar, table.
And because I reset my Safari, it is actually not going to just go to my downloads folder. It's actually going to give me my choice, but of where I want to put it, because I told Safari not to use a default downloads folder. But if you do, then that's where it's going to go to. But if you were to do download as, then it's going to bring up this dialog no matter what.
Save button.
And now I can save.
Download as web content.
The other thing I forgot to mention is that in that save as field, I can adjust the file name, but I will show you that in a minute.
Vertical splitter.
Okay, so now that we've done that.
Back. Website not secure. iBug Today.
The other thing I wanted to mention is it's saying website not secure. That's because the address bar does not have an HTTPS in it. It is just HTTP. That's what that means, but the Mac is going to let you know.
Facilitators.
Okay,
Maria.
so let's find another podcast.
Heading level.
All
Heading
right,
level.
I'm just going
Heading
to
level
pick one
2.
at random here, and let's say I don't want to bother with playing the podcast. I want to just go ahead and download it. Well, I can do an option enter on this particular link. And
Heading level 2. Link. iBug Buzz number 520. February 7th.
if it doesn't focus, then
Sidebar.
you have to use your VO right and VO left and do VO and then do your option enter. And by the way, this is not just for text files. This is for any type of file that this usually works on, but some sites can be a bit trickier than others, and that's why I just have my Safari not use a default downloads folder, because even if I can't get to a download as, then I can still have full control over where it goes to.
Sidebar. Table.
So I've got a
Table.
sidebar that I can
Vertical splitter.
fiddle with.
Sidebar. Vertical column view. Browser. Save at GMT20222020.
I've got my save as, and I can change the file name here if I want to.
Tags.
I can
Tags.
apply
Tag
a
editor.
tag
Edit.
if I wanted to.
Back. Forward. Column. Change the books. Wait. Show less options.
It's saving
Expanded.
to books.
Disclosure
that's
triangle.
good to know. I don't
Books.
want it to save to books, though. I want it to
Menu.
save to
Dropbox.
my main Dropbox folder.
Dropbox.
And now I'm just going to VO end to save, and
Save
if I don't
button.
want to save, I can just VO left to cancel. Which
Cancel.
I'm going to do because I actually don't need this
Link.
particular one. And I still get the same sound regardless of what I do. So that is the iBug Today website. So I want you guys, for your homework, to go to the iBug Today website.
Messages.
And find the Macintalk page and download a podcast from there. So that is that. Chanel, that wasn't you sending me a message?
I was just letting you know to let people know what arrow keys you're pressing as you move through those different dialogues. So.
Okay. Sorry. You'll just have to speak up because yeah. So I was actually using VO left and VO right, and to go to the save button directly, I was doing VO end. So there you go. All right, now we're going to take a look at what is perhaps the heart and soul of Apple accessibility. They have it all: iPhone, Apple, Macs. They don't have real apples, but they have iPads. It's all here about accessibility. And we're going to go to
Working location.
AppleVis.
www.ibugtoday.com
Okay.
/podcasts/
Yes. So of course I can see the address where I'm at when I do my Command L. I'm going to do an A.
Select Amazon.com.
Hey, what do you know? Amazon is right here, but we don't need to go there just yet. I'm now going to do a P.
Amazon.com. Applevis.com.
And AppleVis is here. All right. So I'm going to
HTTPS
hit enter.
/
See, I just had to hit AP. It brought it right up. And there you go.
Applevis.
Okay.
Applevis. Link.
So I'm going to do quick nav here, and now I'm interact. I'm sorry, but now I'm going to do my quick nav, and I'm going to have it on this time.
Quick nav on.
So my quick nav is on, and the first thing you want to do if you've never used quick nav before is make sure your quick keys are on with VOQ. And if you do that, it
Single key quick nav off.
single key quick nav off,
Single key quick nav on.
and there you go. So this will allow you to use the single letter navigation techniques that we've been talking about, but now you don't have to do VO command, but you are sandboxed into how the site looks with the quick nav on. So I can do H for heading.
Heading level 5. Main menu. Heading level 5. User account. Heading level 1. Welcome to Applevis. Heading level 2. Getting started with your first Mac, iPhone, iPad. Heading level 2. Latest posts and updates.
Or if I know the heading level I'm looking
Heading level
for,
1.
I can do
Heading level 5. Secondary menu.
H5. So there's a neat little trick there. I can do the same thing for link with L.
About. Link. RSS feeds. Newsletter. Developer resources.
Okay,
Link.
that's nice, but what if I actually want to search for something? I want to search for Mac. I'm going to do F.
Text field
that
not
didn't
found.
do any good. Well, then let's do a Shift F.
Search text field.
Because I was not at the top of the site, it took me there. All right, that's great. Okay, I want to search for Mac stuff now.
First same heading.
Oh,
Search
wait a
text
minute.
field. Checkbox not found.
Something is not right here. Oh dear, my quick nav is on. This is why I don't like it. What I'm now going to have to do is remember to turn it off.
Quick nav off.
So I can write in the field. And now I can just type in Mac.
Mac. Search.
And tab once to my search button.
Safari. Safari not responding.
Okay. And
Safari is not responding.
I see. This is a live demo, guys. so
Safari is not Safari not responding.
I don't know what its problem is.
Zoom us.
So let's close
Stop.
it
System
out
preferences. 12 of
and
33. System
reopen
preferences.
it.
Safari. Untitled.
So basically, though, with the quick nav off, I'd be able to do my search, type in what I want, and there you go. However, if I wanted to find my search with
completion
the quick nav off, I'd have a much easier time because I can use
Applevis. And Apple.
my VO Command J to jump through form elements.
Search text field. Blank.
And there you go. I'm already there. I can type in Mac.
Search. Button. Link. Skip.
And here I am. And then if I wanted to use quick nav though, again I could turn
Link.
my quick nav
Skip to main
on.
content. Quick nav on.
Now I can do headings.
Heading level 2. Filter by type. Heading level 2.
How are you turning
Displaying
it
one.
on?
The left and right arrow. So you use your left and right arrow to turn on quick nav.
Heading
now I'm
level
using
3.
my
Link.
H to go
To
through
Mac
a
or
heading.
not to Mac.
To Mac or not to Mac.
Heading level 3. Link. Deezer for Mac. Heading level 3. Visited. Heading level 3. Link. Voiceover on the Mac. Heading level 3. Visited. Link. Mac for college.
Mac for college. Hey, that sounds interesting. So I want to activate this now with my quick nav. Since my quick nav is on, I'm going to use my up and down arrows pressed at the exact same time. But before I do that, if I was to just right arrow.
Forum topic by Lewis on Sunday, May 27th, 2012.
So that tells you how far back Applevis goes. They've been around since 10, and this is an article from forum from 2012.
Heading level 3.
So
Visited.
I'm going to
Link.
left arrow, then I'm going to do my up and down
Mac
arrow
for college. Link.
combination.
Link. Skip to main
and
content.
there you
Visited.
go.
Link. Image.
I am on the website. If I wanted to browse the podcasts on here, by the way, guys, I'd use the exact same techniques that I taught you on the iBug Today website. So there you go. All right, real quick, Amazon.
Quick nav off.
And there's nothing special that I haven't really already taught you,
Selection
but
replaced.
there is
A.
something cool I want to show you about the web
A.
rotor.
Google link.
Thank you.
Heading level 1. Accessibility links.
I see. That's
Open
how you're
location.
gonna be.
Selection deleted. A. Amazon.com.
Thank you. This time it did not bring it up for me right away, so I had to type in AM.
Amazon.
Oh well. So
Amazon.com.
again,
Amazon.
I just want to. So here's something I want to show you. Again, you're really going to use your same things here. You know, your headings, your links, and all that. But we want a form element.
All departments. Search.
All right. So the first thing you're going to see with the VO Command J is all departments, and you can do another VO J or you can hit Tab.
Search text field.
It doesn't matter. If you use your tab with the quick nav on, it will automatically interact with the field. I still find it a bit flaky. Okay, I want to search for headphones.
All departments. Search in. Pop-up button. 89. 90% loaded. 90% loaded. Banner. Link.
All right, so now I'm going to use my heading to start to get to the list of products.
Heading level 2. Link. 1 Audio A70 Bluetooth over-ear headphones. Wireless headphones with 72H plate.
That's nice. Okay, so if I can do some exploring here. I can VO right.
4.4 out of 5
It
stars.
tells me the star rating.
4.4 out of 5. End of. 8,400. Link. 8,400. End of. Link. $42.99.
And it tells me it's $42.95. Now, one of the interesting things with Amazon is all these links go to the same place. So I'm just going to VO space
Web
on
content,
it.
90% loaded.
Now,
90% loaded. 90% loaded.
because I know the Amazon site so well, I
Skip to
can
main,
do this,
skip to main,
and
skip to
you
main.
can too. If you know that this is the product you want, first of all, you can use your headings to go through the various things.
Heading level 1. One Audio A70 Bluetooth over ear headphones. Wireless headphone. Heading level 1. About this item. List 5 items. Bullet. Jack lock design.
And I'm
Make sure
using
the cable lock
my
and play.
VO Right to look
Bullet.
at all this.
Soft memory ear, breathable earmuffs and the soft.
Or I can use my up and down arrow if I want to read more line by line.
List
but
5
let's say I know that already this is the product I want. Like, for instance, an example is I will buy laundry detergent, and I already know that the Tide Pods I clicked on are the ones I want. So I'm going to do my VO Shift Home.
Skip to main content.
And that'll get me out of areas where Safari will get stuck in. And I'm going to do my web rotor, but this time I'm going to use the button navigation.
Headings menu. Links visited link buttons menu.
Now, the actual button is labeled Add to Cart, but what's really nice about what we're going to do here is you do not have to be precise. Whether it's buttons, links, or whatever, if you know what word is contained within the phrase of the element you're looking for, that's going to work out nicely. So I'm going to type in the word cart.
Look, add to cart button.
Oh, I just
7
had to
items.
type in CA and it brought up add to cart. So, and now I can
Add to
VO
cart.
space on that. And if I was to VO space again, that would actually add it to cart. So that's how you can quickly find your add to cart button if it's something that you know what you were looking for. So, or same if you're trying to find a link or whatever, it doesn't have to be precise. An example of that is like the ACB emails. We have a call called the Breakfast Bunch. Well, there's a lot of those on there because there's some calls on Saturday, like the Braille Room, for instance. So if I type in, or you know, if I just type in BR, in this, I think the Braille Room is called something else, but if I type in BRE, it automatically will take me down to the link that says the Breakfast Bunch, which is for Sunday. So that's how that works. All right. And maybe we'll show you more of that with mail. But we got to get to some other things. Next is going to be table navigation.
Dock. System
And
preferences. Zoom us.
I'm hitting the
Zoom
wrong
meeting.
thing here. Table navigation, depending on the table, can be pretty easy. And I find this a little bit easier with the Quick Nav on, truthfully. But you can play around with this. Let's go
Open
to
location.
a website I know.
925mac.com. 925
Nope.
99 997
Oops, this isn't working. Okay, so I'm just going to go precisely where I want.
986.
And I'm going to go here. And now
In-web
we're going
content.
to do a VO Command Shift T
Table. 6
for
columns.
table.
4 O's.
And
Laura's country music and more. Visited. Link.
so how this works
Volume.
is not good. So let's turn on our Quick
Visited.
Nav here.
Quick Nav on.
Thank you.
Show description. Show
Playing
title.
mostly country,
But
So
expect to hear other
I
types
can-
of music as well.
all right,
Some
thank you,
adult
thank you.
content is possible.
All right, let's get
Out of
out
table.
of here. So
Table.
let's get back into the table. So now I can, there's several ways I can navigate the table here. So if I go
Links.
to
Headings. Tables.
my tables rotor, I can find
Table.
the table
6
that
columns. 7 rows.
way. And now I can VO left.
DJ name.
Or VO right, I'm sorry.
Time of show.
I can see the table
Show
column.
title. Show description. Show time of show.
And I can also, now if I VO down,
8 to 9 a.m.
so that's great. Okay, so what if I VO left?
DJ name. Cheryl McNeil Fisher and Dr. Kathy King.
Okay, so now it's reading me the columns for that table. So the first row is your columns, and then now the second row is your what's actually in the table. So I can VO down if I want.
Callie Kim. Jared Driver.
Unfortunately, when going down, it doesn't repeat the column name. You have to go VO left or VO right.
Quick nav off.
And yes, we can turn off the quick nav
Lists.
and
Tables.
not really easily do this.
Time of show, 12 to
no,
3
we actually
p.m.
can.
DJ
I guess
name,
VO,
Jared.
VO does work either way.
Callie Kim. Cheryl McNeil Fisher and Dr. Kathy King.
So I can do it. Let's look at this.
Time of show, 8 to 9 a.m. Show title, link, Writing Works Wonders. Show description, encouraging, inspiring and accelerating success among authors is the lively focus of this podcast. Promo, NA. DJ contact info, link, Writing works wonders.
So notice there's even links we could click on if we wanted to, and VoiceOver makes a clicking sound when it comes to a link.
DJ name, Callie Kim.
And then if I just VO right, it's going to revolve to the next column. I don't have to worry about going down or anything like that. So you can point to the column title you want and VO down, or you can... So it's something to explore. If you want to play with this, 986summix.com/schedule is a good one, just because the tables are accessibly laid out. There you go. And it's a fun little site to explore, and listen to, and the shows on there and stuff like that. But enough self-promotion. The two more things I just really want to talk about, and the next one is going to be Reader View. And I've picked a good site for this one. So first of all, let's go to our menu bar.
Menu bar, app.
Now, let's say I looked up a site the other day and I forgot where I went. Well, that's fine. I can actually go to my history by hitting H. Oh,
Apple.
That doesn't...
History, menu.
There we go. And then I had to down arrow once to get to my history menu.
Show all history command. Y.
I can do a show all history with command Y.
Back command. Left bracket. Forward. Dimmed.
But-
Back. Show clear history ellipsis.
And I can even clear my history.
Wednesday, April 6th, 2022. Submenu.
But it's a lot easier,
Thursday.
perhaps, to navigate through these sub-menus. And if you do it the other way, it's a whole nother layer of navigation that I don't like as
Thursday.
much.
User testing. The Human Insight platform. User testing. The Human Insight
So I
platform.
just right arrowed on a day, and it is bringing up what I
User
want to on
testing.
this particular day. Okay, you know what? I
Callie
really
Kim.
don't need the history. Actually, I just remembered I bookmarked the site. That's even better. So, and if to bookmark a site, by the way, it is Command D. And you can retitle the bookmark if you want, and you can just, save it. So, like, if I do this real quick.
Add bookmark. Favorites. Pop-up button.
I've got my favorites pop-up button. That's where I want to go.
986. Description edit text.
I can
Blank.
put in a description.
986 MXCOM schedule. Content selected. Just cancel. Add. Default.
And I've got
cancel.
add. And if I already know that it's going to the right spot and I don't want to add anything, I can
Link.
just easily
Writing.
hit enter, because it's going to focus on my default button. So I don't have to even worry about all that. But all right, let's go to our bookmarks now. And there are some ways we can do it, but the easiest way I find nowadays is through the menu bar. So I'm going to hit menu.
Menu bar. Apple.
And you can also right arrow if you want, or we can take a shortcut and hit
Bookmarks.
B for bookmarks. Yay. And then I can down arrow
Bookmarks.
once.
Menu.
And I know that what I want is in my favorites folder, so I'm going to hit F.
Favorites. Submenu.
All right. And I've got a nice little submenu now. I can just right arrow.
Favorites. Sub.
So when you go down from here, it's going to go from top to bottom in the order that things were added. But what is nice is this list revolves, so I can go down and start from the top, or I can go up and start from the bottom, which is what I want to do.
Open a new Instant Pot barbecue chicken recipe. Vertical line it as a keeper.
All right, this is the one I want. So I'm going to...
Link. Instant Pot barbecue. Link. Skip to content. Link. Skip to content.
So this
Link, image.
site, as like a lot of recipe sites, have a lot of fun ads and stuff like that. So
0 sec. Volume 0%.
notice it gave me a little pop-up alert and it's saying 0 seconds. So what this is one of those little video ads playing. So if I just try to navigate this
Heading
site,
level 1.
let's see if we
Instant
can.
Pot barbecue chicken. Last
I'm going
updated
to
on
use
December
my
2nd.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to use my down arrow key here.
Link. Hitchcock. This post may contain affiliate links. New lot. Link. Chicken dish slathered in barbecue. Link. Instant Pot. Barbecue chicken is a tender, sumptuous chicken dish slathered in barbecue sauce prepared in a short time. Perfect for those busy weeknight meals.
Maybe I do want to VO right.
Prep. 5 minutes. Cook. 16 minutes. Total. 21 minutes. Link. Jump to recipe. Link. Jump to video. Link. Instant. 33,000. Instant Pot barbecue chicken on a white plate. Image. 30 shares. Save to pinch.
Okay, this
link,
is really
link to
getting
cook prep.
annoying.
Link.
So now what happens if I do my reader? So there are two commands you need to know here for Safari. You can get to the reader in menus, of course, and find it that way. But what we're going to do is a quick shortcut. Now, if you do Command R, that's going to reload the page. So Command R is reload. But if we want the reader view, then we are going to do a Command Shift R. Command Shift R for reader. And if you've used this on your iPhone, it works the exact same way on the Mac, where it tries to really just bring out the text of a website. So let's do this.
Show reader. Article.
So now
Heading level
I
1,
should have
instant.
less ads, and I can now kind of navigate this site.
Instant. Last updated on. Link. Total. Link. Instant pot. Instant. If you want crowd pleasing. Instant pot.
Oh,
Barbecue.
let's look
link.
at this.
Instant pot. Total. 21 minutes.
So notice when I had my reader view off, it was giving me all these other links like save to Pinterest and all that.
Link.
But if I
Instant
VO
pot.
right, and then I VO right again.
Barbecue chicken is a tender, sumptuous chicken dish slathered in barbecue sauce prepared in a short time. Perfect. Instant. If link. Instant pot. Chicken is it. I'm totally game for chicken straight off the grill, but actually, this. Link. Pressure cooker. Barbecue chicken breast is one of heading level 2. Why barbecue instant pot chicken recipe works. This
So
deliciously
now we're
easy
seeing
instant
a lot more of the text than I was seeing before. There's still a lot of annoying junk to get through.
link and link in a heading level 3. My latest videos in a savory barbecue sauce. As a matter of fact, only 3 ingredients make the best barbecue chicken recipe, and actually,
All right,
heading
can we
level
get to
3.
the
My
recipe?
latest videos. Heading level 2. How to make instant pot barbecue chicken step by step. Loading ad. Loading ad. This ad will list 4 items, comma. Step 1. First, season both sides of the chicken with house.
So as you can see, it tries to cut out a lot of the junk on the website. I really use the reader mode in a lot of articles from, like, say, The Verge or, recipe sites where there's a lot of ads. I don't use it for general browsing because I want to know, maybe see everything that's on the page. But that's how your reader view works, and to disable it, we do our Command-Shift
Hide
R
reader.
once
Easy
again.
and delicious grilled beef recipes each week.
Oh, and notice
And
that
we
an
have
ad is
something
playing now as soon as we
giveaways for
disable
you.
the reader. See,
We
it's
are
doing
giving
its
away
job.
free
Yay!
digital meat thermometers
All
while
right,
supplies
so now
last.
we're going to
So
go to
make
a
sure you
site that
sign
does
up
not
and grab our
have...
free
Safari
summer
not
grilled
responding.
Oh,
There's
dear.
no link.
Zoom us.
Okay, so maybe we should have gone to Bookshare before disabling the reader mode on this particular website because it decided to freeze Safari. So,
Safari. Untitled.
but
Window.
that is in a nutshell how your reader view works, and that can really come in handy. So now we're going to go to Bookshare.
O-K-S menu. Bookshare vertical line and accessible online.
All right,
HTTPS
so I'm going to hit enter.
www.bookshare.rgcms.
Yeah.
Bookshare vertical inside
Can I find my login link real
receipt
quick?
links default out of
Set
vertical
them on my
split
tab,
Bookshare
but
vertical
that doesn't
link
work. Okay, let's
Buttons
do
menu.
my
Visited
links
menu.
navigation.
visited link login 5
Hey,
items
what do you know? I just hit LO and the visited link login shows up right off the bat.
Visited.
So I'm going to do VO space twice.
visited email or username required edit text
So-
with autofill menu login
I am a keychain user myself. I don't use the 1Password apps or extensions or anything like that. So, and I have a Mac that has a fingerprint sensor. So yes, you're going to hear me move off to the right. This is one of the disadvantages of an external keyboard, but I'm going to move over to the right, and while I'm going to tab now to the password
email or username password
field, and I'm going to put my fingerprint on the sensor.
in dialog not now button
What are you whining about now?
update password default button. Do you want to update not now
No.
button. My Bookshare vertical line Bookshare web content. My Bookshare vertical line in my link new line
Did you log me in?
Bookshare homepage out nav list visited link my Bookshare heading level 1 my Bookshare heading level 4 recent news link join the fun on drop everything
Yeah,
and
I
read
think
it
you
heading
did.
level 1
I can do
links
my-
menu visited link log out 5 item
Okay,
closing
so that tells me for sure it logged out. Why it asked me about updating the password when I've not made any changes, I don't know. Maybe I typed something in the password field, but I was able to just tell it to stick with the normal thing. So that was one of the things that I really loved when I first got my Mac, was the fact that I could just use my fingerprint to log in. I thought that was totally cool about the Mac. And so just make sure your keychain is turned on, and you can do the same thing with that. This does not work on Chrome though, but it does work, of course, on Safari. All right,
heading level 1 my Bookshare
so I do want to
Links
log
menu.
out
loading more items log out 5
and
menu, Bookshare
show you one other thing. So
dimmed link
okay,
Bookshare vertical line and visited link
it had took me to the beginning of the site and I had to interact again. That's fine.
login visit advanced search link browse is Bookshare for me link get started
Is Bookshare
link,
for me?
get involved
Get
link,
started,
log,
get
link,
involved.
get
I
started
think we want
link
our get started.
menu get started Dimmed.
And
link.
I just did my VO Command L to navigate through these links because I wasn't completely sure which link I was
Get started.
looking
Vertical.
for.
Visited. Link.
So I haven't
Bookshare.
interact again.
Homepage.
This does get a little bit annoying, but yeah, it's what it is.
Log in. Visited.
Okay.
Link. End of search. Search keywords. Title.
let's go
author.
to
heading
a
level
heading.
1. Get started.
Here we go. And I'm going to just VO
Menu
right.
3 items. Sign up. Sign up. Menu
Oh, I
item.
got my sign up.
How to find books. How to read books.
I'm going to sign
Sign
up
up.
for Bookshare. I don't have an account. So I'm going to sign up. And no, we're not actually
Menu.
going to create
Sign
an
up.
account.
Vertical line book.
But I'm going to show you form
Dimmed.
fields.
Link.
And so that's why we're doing this. So don't get any funny ideas that I'm going to try to have 2 Bookshare accounts. So I don't know if they'd object or not because that's $100 for them. So, you know, maybe
Sign
they
up.
wouldn't
Visited.
object. I don't
Link.
know.
Books.
All right, let's do if we can find the form element because I'm on a sign up page.
Search keywords. Search. But is Bookshare for me? Visit. Get start button. Get inbox. Content. Help center menu. Last form element. Get gets is search. Search keywords. Title.
Interesting.
Heading
No, we
level 1.
don't.
Sign up. Menu 3 items.
So why
Sign up.
not?
Menu item. How to find book. How to end of
So
menu.
let's do our VO right here. I'm on the sign up heading.
Heading level 2. Choose a membership type.
Ah, that's
Bookshare
why.
registered sign membership is for people with print disabilities and is provided free to video tutorial. YouTube educate link for getting link step-by-step instructions for individual access and read books for you will link qualified expert if you link period link payment sign up individual link
Okay, so I'm just using my links navigation because this is clearly laid out in links. At least I'm assuming so. And I was right. Sign up individual. So I'm using my VO Command L and I'm going to VO space on
ebooks
that.
for people with reading 40 skip to main content.
All right. So remember, sometimes quick keys work, but if you don't know what you're looking for, then you have to be willing to explore.
Heading level 1. Sign
And
up.
I would argue, by the way, this is the same case for any screen reader. Don't just always rely on your links list or elements list if you're using the dark side, Windows. So now we're in the sign up heading. Can I use my form controls
I
now?
confirm that this account is for a person with a print disability and will be able to provide proof of disability from a competent authority group.
I guess so.
I confirm that this
But it won't
account
tell
is
me
for a
if
person
it's-
with a print
Oh, I see.
link print disability. Heading level
So
2.
is
I
either of
confirm
these
that
a
I confirm that this
checkbox?
account is for a
Interesting.
person with a link and will be able to provide yes radio
Oh,
button.
I see.
1 of 2.
So even though it's not a checkbox, it still put me there. So I'm going to VO space on
Select
the
it.
yes. And I could, it doesn't matter which
No.
one I do.
Is this person a U.S. student? Help on student qualification window. Yet words. Is this person a U.S. in toolbar? 13. First form element. New tab.
I
Go
got
back.
out of
Menu
where I
button.
wanted. So
Vertical
this
splitter.
part right here
E-
might
ebook-
actually
ebooks
be
for
a
people
little
with
bit
reading. Quick nav on.
easier with my quick nav on.
Yes. No. Radio button. 2. Yes. Yes. Selected. Radio button. 1 of 2.
Okay.
Yes. Radio button. 1 of 3.
So now
Selected.
I can hit R for radio button.
Look up my school. Radio button. 1 of 2. Look up my school. This student is homeschooled.
I would say here, don't be afraid to use the left and right arrows. That's
Yes.
to
This student is
use
homeschooled.
the
This
site.
look up my school. This student is homeschooled. Radio button.
We're just
2 of
going to
2.
say I'm
Selected.
homeschooled. And yes, you can use your left and right. It really depends. I get a little bit impatient with these things because it's, to me, a lot of this stuff is just
Yeah,
obvious.
VO Command L and VO Command H are pretty much the same as using only relying on links list or only relying on headings list.
They are. And I did do my VO left and VO right earlier when the quick nav was off to see what the radio buttons were. But then when I lost focus on the radio button, I did my quick nav on and hit R to get to where I wanted
Or
to go.
you could also do right and left with quick nav on, just the left and right arrows by themselves.
Yes, but if I already knew what the radio button was, that's why I wanted to jump directly to it. If that makes
Quick
sense.
nav off.
All right.
This student is homeschooled. Next. End of. Next.
Okay,
Button.
so I did turn my quick nav off and I just hit VO right till I got to next. Okay.
Link.
So
Skip to main
can
content.
we actually
Link.
fill out anything now?
Search keywords. Search. Button. Student first name star. Edit text.
Okay, now I'm going to see if my autofill will work. And to do this, we're going to do a Command Shift A.
Herbert.
Hey, what do you know? It did. Now I can either VO right.
Student last name star. Allen.
Hey, it
Insertion
filled
at
it
end of
in.
text. Country
Yay.
star. United States. Country star. Address line 1 star. Address line 2. Address line 2. Edit text.
Did it fill it
Address
out?
line 1 star. Edit text. Address line 1 star. Edit text.
No, it did not fill out my home address. Okay,
City star. City star. Edit text.
interesting.
State select. State province. Zip or postal code. Phone. Edit text.
Oh, wow, it did not fill my phone.
Autofill form. In dialog. Alert. Okay. Autofill completes web page form. Okay.
I know it's
Phone.
not.
Edit text. Birth date. Birth date. MMDDI. Star.
So as you can tell, autofill is kind of not the most reliable. I don't know why it's not filling some of this stuff out because my stuff is
It's 20
in there.
hours.
But I also don't know why my timer is going off. I think I do know why, but it's actually... Anyway, so autofill can be flaky, so don't just assume it worked. You have to look at all the fields to make sure your stuff is in there. All right, guys, it's now 8 o'clock, and it's time for your questions. Before we do that, there's...
You have stopped computer audio
System
share.
dialog.
You have started computer audio
muted
share.
everyone.
The host muted Ivriana. Press CMD plus to return to the meeting.
Zoom us.
All right,
Unmute
I have
au-
allowed, people should be able to unmute.
All right, before we get, I just remembered, did you want to mention about web spots?
No.
Currently
audio.
muted. Currently audio.
Okay, I'm going to stop the screen share for now. Okay, so you may now unmute and ask away.
This is Becky.
Yes, Becky?
Yes.
I forgot if you mentioned this last week. Can you say you get on a page and can you quickly do like a sale like you used to do with Windows? I know
Yes.
you recommending disabling that by default and I get that, but can you do it by page by page? Like say you
Yes.
just get on a site. How do you do that?
If when you are on the text of an article that you wish to read, you press VOA.
Oh, select all.
No,
No,
that's
that's not.
command. Command A is select all.
Oh, I should know.
VOA
Okay,
and
VOA. Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
And just real quick, Herbie, remind people again, what was the command you used to bring up the web rotor? You only said it once.
Okay, so to bring up your web rotor, it is VOU. And that brings up your web rotor, VOU.
Oh, not the right up and right is if you have QuickNav on.
That's if you
Yes.
have QuickNav on, but if your QuickNav is off, your web rotor, or you also do have access to the non-QuickNav rotor with VO command left and right, and then VO command up and down to take you through the rotor that way. So those are your web rotors.
Thanks.
Yep. All right, who's next?
Bumi,
Oh, Boomy. Yep.
Yes.
please, how did you get to the, like, when you want to search, how did you get to the edit box so that you're able to type?
So this is why I prefer the QuickNav method off. Unfortunately, it will show sometimes everything. So I did VO Command J till I got to where it said search, or if I had my QuickNav on, I would either use E or F. They both pretty much do the same thing. F, though, will read like combo boxes and stuff like that. That's really the only difference, whereas E will just read edit fields. And primarily search edit fields too. I don't know if they read like first name, last name, all those. So those are, but the disadvantage with the QuickNav on is you have to remember to turn it off if you want to start typing in the search field.
Now I'm going to give you a hint tonight too. Some of the focus questions, he didn't directly cover, but like for example, the commands to read a table row or read a table column per se. But or the next in, checkbox, he might have anything you can look in voiceover commands and make sure your QuickNav is on first or not, and you can look you can also search in voiceover commands, and I believe there's a separate category for WebRotor. But you can look up some of these things, and the idea is just to kind of get you to explore and try to figure out Safari, figure out how you want to use Safari, what's going to work well for you and what's not.
And there's two reasons why I didn't cover some of those commands. One, that's generally not, I'm not as big of a fan of some of the say all and stuff like that. It has its purpose. I like to use something, like Voice Dream Reader, where the voice is differently modulated for that type of thing. So that's partially why. And two, I wanted to make sure we got through what I thought was, like the most important elements. So, all right. Hopefully that answers your question there, Bumney?
Yes, thank you.
You are most welcome. All right. Who is next? Well, while you're all are thinking, one thing I do want to mention real quick. I know the idea of navigating the web without the quick nav might seem daunting, but I assure you that if you use it on a daily basis, it can become second nature to you. And now maybe you don't want to use, I understand if you have like dexterity issues, that, you know, totally makes sense why you might not want to use that feature. But if dexterity is not an issue for you, then like I said, I actually do highly encourage you to make use of navigating without the quick nav. I think you will find that you have a much easier time and you can just explore your web pages a lot easier, or at least use quick nav on just so you get more comfortable. So that is my other piece of advice from somebody that's been doing this for about 3 years now. So 2 years, 3 years.
Okay, this is Becky. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Emma, since I haven't heard anything, I'm going to ask one more question just to get everything in my head straight. So what are the top 2 commands you would recommend most? I'm assuming VO left and right arrows, and then the VOJ, and then
VO Command J.
I'm sorry, VO Command J. Why am I saying VOJ?
Really close, though, because we have talked about VOJ.
Okay.
But, yeah, VO Command, yeah. And then the biggest thing he emphasized, too, was the web rotor, VOU. The focus questions are going to cover a lot of other things, but the big 3, I think you're right, is VO left and right, VOU, and if you want to do a form field, VO Command J.
Okay. Will these work in Google Chrome as well? Because
yes.
I am not trying to be critical.
Excellent question. No, that's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. They will work in Google Chrome. They will work in effect, that is... I'm glad you brought this up because that is actually one of our focus questions. Where else can you use this? You can use this in Google Chrome. You can use this in Mail.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Now, one thing with Mail that is an area where I might be a bit more inclined to use QuickNav, because one of the things I have noticed with Mail, unlike Safari, let's say if I go to a heading and then I use my down arrow key, it immediately takes me back to the beginning of the email instead of keeping my focus. So I have to remember to use my VO keys. So
that's where you have to do the routing of the mouse and then do VO shift space, which is kind of complicated.
Yeah. So with Mail, it works a little differently. But you can still, like the ACB emails, for instance, is where I use that quick find just to find the link for the call I'm looking for instead of going through the web rotor. Yep. And you can also, another thing I forgot to mention too, is you can also do a VO find to find something on a web page with VOF. But here's the thing with a VO find. And actually, I tell you what, I'm going to show you this in real time. Let's see. Let's find an ACB email, except I've got a ton of junk.
You need to share as well.
I know.
Find it.
I know. I just don't want everybody to hear all my email.
Yeah.
If that's all right. I know. Maybe you all are curious, but...
No.
There we go. Okay. Nope. I actually didn't know I was not sharing, though. Okay, let's see. Let's adjust the rate again. So, yeah.
And I thought we were all going to use the same voice in these recordings, but I forgot to have you change it.
All right, are you hearing my voiceover?
No.
Then the screen share did not...
Yeah, you turned it off.
I thought I'd enabled it. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay.
You have started computer.
There we go.
All right, so first off, I have to reset my voiceover. And,
voiceover on.
There we
Screen
go.
curtain on.
Okay, so let's say this was a web page. It doesn't matter. I can do, I want to find games to play with Lady A. So I'm
Enter search
going
text.
to do
previous search.
Search for the word games.
And you typed what?
Delete cap A.
VOF, yep.
Heading level 3. Games to play with Lady A. 2 p.m.
And then
ET.
the enter
11 a.m.
key, right?
Yep, then the enter key. Yep. And that's what I'm getting to. So immediately it brought me to the heading. Well, that's nice, but the heading and the link have the exact same name. So this is where using the web rotor is going to come more in handy, because I'm now going to do my VOU.
Windows spots menu. Web spots, headings menu, links menu.
And I'm now going to go to my links menu with, left arrow. And now I'm just going to type in G.
Link. Games to play with Lady A.
And now I am actually at the link as opposed to just the heading. So, the heading is great if I want to look at more details, but if I know that's the link I want,
Link. Games.
and then I can, do my VO space twice to activate the link. So that's the difference between finding something with first letter navigation with the web rotor and versus VO find. The other thing with the web rotor is you're going to get immediate feedback as to what it is seeing. Whereas with the VO find, it won't give you any feedback until you do your search. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But you will have to determine which one is more appropriate for which setting, whatever it is, depending on what you're looking for. And sometimes it may not matter. But I want you to understand the differences between the two. All right.
This is Kathy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the difference between VOJ and VO Command J?
So VOJ is VOJ is kind of like it will interact with various combo boxes. We talked a little bit about VOJ. We'll talk about it more, especially like with mail.
VOJ is if we had the sidebar open in Safari, for instance. So I like to have my bookmarks sidebar open rather than going through the menu bar. So I will do VOJ to go from my bookmarks to my address bar. And then you could go from the address bar to the web content if you wanted. So it gets you to different parts of the window, whereas VO Command J gets you to controls of the window. So VOJ is different areas. VO Command J is different buttons or fields or whatever. So VOJ is more broad. It's going to take you to a bigger area. VO Command J is going to take you to a specific item, like a button.
Controls, right?
Right, right.
Controls as opposed to areas.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I hope that makes sense.
It does. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I heard somebody else in there.
This is Nikki.
Yes.
Oh, Nikki.
Okay. Yes. So I noticed you never mentioned this, and I'm just curious if there's a purpose for it, if I should forget it. I don't remember if this was a carryover from Windows or if somebody actually told me to try it, but I've used Tab at times to go to links, and it's worked in Safari. Is that an efficient way to work, or is it not actually an efficient way?
I don't think. Okay, I'm going to take a stab. So I don't like using Tab per se. It's kind of like using only the headings list or the links list or VO Command H, VO Command. It gives you a general overview of what's there, but it doesn't actually give you the surrounding context, what's between, so if you're in an area and you think it's easier to press Tab because a link is, by all means use Tab if that's easier than pressing VO Command L. But if you don't know a website very well, it may not be a good idea to use Tab to start out with.
But is there an advantage to using the links, the links rotor versus the Tab?
Yes, because the link rotor, you can be more specific. You can I showed you how to quickly find a link.
You can do that searching, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can do that quick searching, whereas the Tab, you have to again move by link by link by link by link.
Okay.
I use Tab more for edit fields and forms I'm familiar with, like the ACB forms. I might use Tab. But again, VO left and VO right is going to read the surrounding content, so it's for starting out with a website, I would say don't use Tab as much, but once you know what you're doing, then you can rely on it. But Tab still might miss stuff too. So let's say if you have a situation where you're using Tab and you fill out a form and you can't submit it,
just
then
says
you're gonna
edit.
just edit. Or even if you hit the submit button is dimmed, then you have to go back and see what your tab key missed with your VO left and VO right. So,
yep.
Makes sense.
Even in Windows, I hardly ever use tab. I mean, and I use Windows a lot, but I hardly ever use it even in Windows. So.
Well, I use it on pages like he said there where I know where I'm at. But
yeah.
But I do find that in Mac, forms don't always read as well using tab as they might in Windows for some reason.
No.
But you'll find if you use your VO left and VO right, you might have an easier experience. So
yeah, you're right there. I've seen that before when a form wouldn't submit, and I'm like, what? Okay, what did I do?
So that is why.
That's a good question.
It is
a good question. All of these are good questions.
They are.
I appreciate them.
And I know some people will frown upon this. I do like to draw comparisons between the two systems because there are a lot of similarities, but I did show you some what I feel like are key differences. For Windows, you don't necessarily have that share sheet. You will have websites that will have share buttons, but in the Mac, that's very iOS-like, where you got that share sheet. But a lot of the ideas of how to navigate the web really apply to both systems, and because if you're like me and you're familiar with the other way, the other system, then knowing how to carry that over, for me, that's what really made it possible for me to use Safari. I did have to learn some Mac quirks, like, not always relying on the tab key, but I had a basis to draw upon, and that's why I emphasized some of the things that I did for that purpose. So.
And we are out of time. I know some people have already left. We're kind of keeping people a bit over, so... is there anything else you wanted to cover, Herbie, or?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, actually, just real quick, if you've not seen your emails, I sent out the meeting link for Thursday's study session already. It will open at around 5:45, and we hope to see you there. 5:45 Central Time, that is. So.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Herbie.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Thank
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you, guys. Good night.